So obviously you sadly lost your husband. You're trying your best to move on, I suppose, to kind of, not that you ever move on from that situation, but to regain a bit of happiness and a bit of love in your life.
Yeah, I was looking for somebody to go to the cinema with, have a meal with, companionship more than anything, really. I'm quite happy with my own company, but he seemed to tick all the boxes and we seemed to get on really well.
So what made you originally start looking online?
Because it's a long time since I was on the dating scene and things have certainly changed since then. You don't go to pubs, clubs, especially at my age, and you just... there was a way forward.
Well, is this the movement now?
I guess it's popular now, you know, everyone's online dating.
It is, and there are so many sites out there.
Exactly. It really is the way that everyone's doing it, isn't it? And what was it that first attracted you to Kevin, then?
He seemed normal. His picture, he wasn't drop-dead gorgeous. He was just a normal person, a human being. And he was really... We had the same interests. He had a dog. I've got a black lab, so we had an interest in the dog, and that's the way he got me with his dog.
Well, I guess the connection, right?
Yes.
Having lots in common. I think he also said he was a widow as well. Yeah. So you're, I guess, as anyone does when they're dating, noticing those similarities and building a real bond. So I'm reading here, he even sent you flowers, sends you presents. He told you he was going to get you a diamond ring. This kind of all became... It sort of became extreme quite quickly.
Yes, they're very clever at the job. Yeah. Looking back, you can see the emails, things were from different people because of the way things were spelled and the terminology and the phraseology.
But you were talking a lot on the phone.
Yes, yeah. And he had a very well-spoken English accent. So it was... quite bizarre, really.
Well, and I guess when you're a good person, you don't ever sort of jump to the conclusion that someone's going to be out to get you.
Well, exactly. How long was it that you were in till you asked about meeting up?
About 3 weeks. And then I was coming to London anyway, and he was going to be home, and we were going to meet up. But by then, and he was going to come and give me my money back. It was always the promise he was going to pay you back. So
rewind. So two weeks in, you're I guess, kind of online dating, as it were. You're talking, you're exchanging conversation. And then that's when he first asked you for money?
Yes.
And what was that scenario?
He was out of the country, his dog was seriously ill, and the vet wouldn't do anything until he paid a certain amount of money.
Right.
And how much was it first that he asked?
$450.
OK.
You know, why would a vet want upfront payment? All these sort of questions were going through my mind. He had very plausible answers, and I just thought maybe in London that's the way vets work. You know, at home, the vets you pay after, but if you were out of the country, you know, you would do, and you have insurance and things. So being a dog lover, I paid, and then they've got you, and they just wind you in more and more.
Well, he's pushing on the buttons, wasn't he, really?
Definitely.
And then, so he said he was stuck abroad.
Yeah.
So these kind of these amounts, I guess, just began tallying up. And just before we came on air, I was speaking to him, and you said, you know, I'm savvy. This is the sort of thing that, you know, that you thought would never ever happen to you, but then here you are transferring a guy at this point that you'd actually not met money.
Yeah, I'd had quite a few before, and I'd sort of sussed them out, but this guy just seemed different. And I fell for it. So it was just, I felt stupid afterwards and how ridiculous, but...
The thing is, they know what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, if he knew that you were a dog lover, obviously by mentioning about that the dog needed vet fees and all that kind of thing, and you say yourself, you know, you did question it. You thought, what kind of vet needs an upfront payment? But when you want to believe something, you almost do, don't you?
And you're genuine from your point of view.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do.
So OK, so this all happens, it builds, and it's kind of... it's extreme, really, for the first 2 weeks of speaking to someone. So in that third week, you arranged to meet in London.
Yes.
So talk us through what happens. You go to a hotel...
I was already going down. I was going to the Winter Wonderland in Hyde Park, and he was going to come and meet me at the hotel. Okay. And I just sat in the foyer of the hotel, and he never showed up. And I was so angry. But then the following morning, he had very plausible. You know, his flight was delayed and he came up with excuses, and then he was had to go back out to China, so he couldn't meet, and just tagged me along, again.
It's just heartbreaking.
It's
absolutely
awful.
heartbreaking. And like you said, everything at the time did seem plausible. What was the point for you where that penny dropped and you thought, this is a scam?
Yeah.
When I said I physically hadn't any more money to give, yes, he was, yes, you have. You can't, I can't believe you're doing this to me. And then when I realised I hadn't, there was just nothing. There was no contact, nothing.
So go on.
Sorry, Eden, this is a lot more common than we might think, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in no way is Di's example unique.
Yeah.
Action Fraud received over 4,500 cases or reports of dating fraud in 2018. It's a 27% increase on the previous year. And it represents a £51 million loss to online dating in 1 year.
Wow.
Right.
So the sad part is that doesn't even the belief is it's not even the tip of the iceberg, because I think a lot of victims simply don't choose to report their fraud.
Well, you did do that. You obviously went home and spoke to your children.
Yeah.
I'm reading here that officers spent 2 years building their case, going through messages, and then eventually unmasked that it was a gang. It was a group of people acting as this one man. And
How did that make you feel?
Because there was in a way, it made you feel better because I wasn't on my own.
Yeah.
There was another lady who, there was just two of us.
Someone else had been conned out of £200,000.
Yes.
I mean, that is
It's
extortionate
unbelievable.
amount of money.
It is.
Extortionate amount of money.
We are now speaking to, the stories are very, very, very similar of what they said and what they did. But knowing that you're not on your own, that somebody else has it. But the Surrey police have worked tirelessly, and especially Rebecca Mason, the detective. She has spent hours and hours going through hundreds of thousands of text messages and to connect. And they arrested, I think it was 12 people to start with, but they got 7 to court.
Absolutely.
I can't believe this is happening, can you?
I mean, no. Eden, what obviously there are so many people daily, hourly that are using these online dating tools. What are you looking out for?
Well, first and foremost, let's just say that online dating is a safe platform. I mean, the numbers of people marrying and meeting their partners does work.
Congratulations.
First of all, I didn't know. I know that you'd met somebody, but I didn't know that you're now engaged.
And
there is a happy ending for you.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
So there you go. It can, when used rightly, it can be amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It does work, but there are some red flags, and myself and Di have been talking about it this morning, and there's so many things I said to Di, and she went, I didn't even know you could do that. The first thing you should do with an online dating profile, if you think the pictures or the person isn't real, is you can simply drop some of those pictures into your search engine's photo search. So if you go into Google Image, drop the pictures in. Every picture that's been taken for an online dating website has been taken online. So there's a digital footprint.
OK.
You drop them into Google or any of your search engine's image search, it'll find the original owner. And you will in seconds know that if somebody's using the Kevin, but the actual real gentleman is Anthony, you've got a red flag.
OK.
Some online dating scammers are slightly more clever, and they will set up their own Instagram accounts to tally with the dating profile.
So almost back it up.
Yeah, so it's the same name, because most scammers don't use the same name for obvious reasons as the person whose picture they're looking. But there's a couple of tricks you can do. One of them is if you find that the Instagram, particularly because it's mostly of people, if the account that you find doesn't look quite right, you will tend to find that if it's a fake one, it'll be pictures of just one individual. There'll be no group shots, and there'll be no interactions from people or other people tagged or saying, great seeing you last night, being tagged in. The other one is if you go right to the end of the Instagram account, you'll see when the first picture was loaded, because they're all dated.
Yeah.
That'll show you there's probably been 50 pictures added in about 10 days.
Right.
And as a general rule of thumb, the first picture would probably be added about the same date that the person started talking to you on online dating, because the two have been put together the same. So there are some red flags. But I will say that one thing you can do, because of technology so great, is if you feel that you're talking to someone and you're not sure about their identity, ask them for a video chat. You can do it on WhatsApp, you can do it anonymously.
That's a good idea.
If they sort of say, no, I can't do it, or I don't want to do it,
that should be a little red
reason.
flag.
They're either a scammer, married, or they're hiding something.
And not for you.
Either way,
None
block
of which are
and
good.
report to the dating site. And if they're asking you for money, report to the police.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you so much.
congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
pleased it's
Yes.
you've got your happy ending. Thank you both.